Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the quick update regarding the Iran situation. The Iran currently is becoming a big crisis. Not just that they have this undeclared war or air war between Israel and Iran. More developments is coming, and seems that things is going to escalate. So first thing first, I just want to highlight there is two giant cargo planes from China. So from China, fly into Iran, turning off their tracking signals after they went into Iran airspace. So, which means that this is a possible delivery of military supplies. But given the size, potentially it could be some limited surface to air missile systems, or it could be just certain things that was destroyed by the Israelis that they need replacing. So it's not entirely sure. I mean, two cargo planes can carry a lot of stuff, but when you talk about big items like surface to air missile system, it might be limited. So it's unclear what it is. And I'm going to expect a lot more cargo planes will be flying into China. This also happened. I think a lot of planes was flying into Israel previously, so this is not an impossibility. But the escalation is this: for some unknown reason, Donald Trump has told the Iranians to immediately evacuate Tehran. This is a little bit unusual. The reason being this: Israel has prided itself on always striking military targets and not civilian targets. Tehran is not a small place, and like even when we see the videos of the past strikes in the past few days, you can see that the civilians basically is sitting on the rooftop, enjoying the air show, the just like what happening in over Israel, where the Lebanese in the South Lebanon is like basically eating popcorns and whatnot. But this to ask everyone to evacuate Tehran is a little bit unusual. What kind of strike will be coming to Tehran that requires everyone to evacuate? I'm not entirely sure. The mass evacuation of Tehran is already underway for a few days already. Massive traffic jams of cars leaving Tehran, and Israel also have banned Israelis from leaving apparently. So the Minister of Transportation confirmed only tourists and diplomats are allowed to leave, which means that Israel is now going back into war footing. I believe this happened after October 7th, from my vague memory, but which means that this means that there is likely going to be a mobilization of reserves. How the Israelis going to use its army, against Iran depends. Hard to say how that's going to work. And then there is also this intel, according to OSIN Defender. He reported that Donald Trump has requested the National Security Council to meet up in the Situation Room the moment he's back from the G7 summit in Canada. So, and this means that Trump is likely to be discussing and very serious situations and making some very, very serious decisions. Probably most likely is relating to Iran. Maybe they are going to make some final discussion on what they should or should not do in regards to this escalating war between Israel and Iran. And all indications seems to suggest that like with all these things that is happening, it seems to suggest that United States might be entering the conflict by the look of it. And according to, I think I saw another video. I'm not sure if I have. Oh, okay, is this one? So this is the G7 that happened just hours ago, where Donald Trump was at the G7. Before the meeting, he was talking to the press. He actually talked about Iran. So he basically says that he says that Iran would like to talk. However, they should have done the talk earlier, before the 60-day negotiation window. So on the 61st day, he said that they don't have a deal. So he said that Iran needs to make a deal. It's painful for both sides, but he said that Iran is not going to win this war, and they should talk, and they should talk immediately before it's too late. So this is seems to be like a final warning for Iran And honestly, like you see from the supply plane coming from China, even if Iran go into talk, like what they seem to claim to want to do, most likely is also just another dragging tactic. Like you have people sometimes take things too literally as well, thinking that no, Iran really wants to talk, or really sincere about negotiations. But this is also Sun Tzu out of war. The same thing is being accused of Trump, of using the 60-day talk, to just drag out time to prepare for the Israeli attack on Iran. Although honestly, I don't think that is true, because Israel always have a strike plan against Iran. It's not new, and all this intel about who to kill, where they are, all these individual high military profile people. This, if you have ever been in intel work, you don't track it over a month. You track it over years. So you if because if over a month you can't track anything in intelligence things. You have to track it over years, years and years. You develop, you start to realize the pattern, where they usually would go, where their offices are, where their house are, and what is their things that they seems to always do. That's how you discover where they will be and what they will do in crisis, and you know where to strike when the time is ripe. So I just want to push back a little bit on that narrative that Donald Trump's negotiation with Iran is just a facade, just to drag things out to give Israel time. I don't think that is true. I think that the 60-day was really Trump's attempt at real peace negotiation, and trying to convince Iran that they have to give up that nuclear weaponry ambition. And in fact, from what I have read and reported before, Trump really Trump already stepped back and say that they're going to okay Iran developing peaceful nuclear power generation. They United States merely wanted the enrichment to stop. The enrichment, all the enriched uranium should be passed on to the Russians. The Americans didn't even want it. Like they want to build trust, and they say that no, Russia is your friend. Give it to the Russians. Pass it to the Russians. So that then they can even help to cooperate, or support, or at least green light the Iranians nuclear power generation projects. But Iran don't want. Iran wanted a guarantee, a insurance. They wanted to keep all the enrichment rods, and this basically is a no-no, because from 60%, which is the current widely reported number, 60% enriched uranium, they can easily go up to weapon grade, and then they can actually develop nuclear weapon. And in fact, there is no guarantee that they will not develop the nuclear weapons in secret. And if I'm Iranian leader or military leader, I would have ordered that we're going to do this secretly. We'll just continue to develop the nuclear weapon regardless what the deal is. And this is what the Israeli position is. The Israeli position is that they don't trust the Iranians, and they do. Netanyahu said in an interview with, I think, Fox, they say that he don't believe that all this intention to talk right now, after all this exchange of airstrikes and missiles, the Iranians say that they want to talk. Netanyahu said that he don't believe it. He did say that this is just a lie, because based on Israeli intel, they already asserted that Iran is going to continue the development of the nuclear weapons, and they, in fact, according to Israeli, I'm not saying this is legit or not legit, Iran is going to develop intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, and then they say that the Iranians may also pass some nuclear weapons once developed to the Houthis. So this is to the Israeli. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. No, I just want to know. It's not. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. The important thing is the Israeli believe it. Once the Israeli believe that that is what the Iranians are going to do, then they're going to react. They're going to act accordingly to what they believe. This is important. It's not important if the the pro-Ukrainians or the Ukrainians believe that no, Ukraine have the right to join NATO or not. Russia don't believe they have the right, and Russia no don't trust the Ukrainians no on having all these nuclear power plants and potentially developing nuclear weapons, because Zelensky casually mentioned about potentially not able to join NATO, so they will develop nuclear weapons, and Russia invaded. So welcome to international law. This is how international law is enforced. So, and you may disagree. People always talk about international law. DPA community love to talk about international law, and they say that this country break this law, that break that law. Okay, so the country break the law. So what are you gonna do? You think you're gonna be able to ask a court to issue a arrest warrant, and some countries are gonna arrest it for you? They will not. They will not do it, because by doing it, they are destroying diplomacy between their country and the targeted country, and so they are not going to do it, and they will risk war, because if you arrest and so-called adopt to the country that the leader is arrested is adoption. If if you adopt the leader of another country, war is automatic. So that means you're declaring war. So no country is going to do it. So that's why international law, we like to talk that about international law. The international law only exists when there's enforcement, and there is also mutual respect of the law. So for example, shipping, international law in terms of shipping, in terms of passports, every country agrees how it works, so that becomes international law. But if any country don't agree about it, then that is not entirely fully international law. So, and just like Israel, so-called broke international law in terms of whatever they do, in terms of striking other countries, yeah, it might be just them defending themselves, just like how a shopkeeper use their guns to shoot someone that is trying to rob his stores. But of course, we can also all debate whether is it really defending themselves, or are they being oppressive to the other countries. That is, of course, I understand all the narrative. You don't have to explain it to me in the comments. But I'm just saying, from the Israeli point of view, they are defending themselves. So, and how do you enforce international law? If a major country breaks a major international norm, then there is nothing else the international community can do, because unless you're willing to go to war. Because what is enforcement of law? Enforcement of law is through violence. That's how the police have a gun and you don't have. There's a police have a baton and you don't have. And if you strike the police, then they can strike you back. And if you try to defend yourself with a lethal weapon, the police is going to shoot you. And they're going to kill you. So this is the same scenario in world affairs, in geopolitics. Someone have to act as the police, have to enforce the law. However, in the world, there is no real world police. The only thing is like a cowboy world setting. It's an anarchy setting where everybody have to defend themselves. So it's like a tribal, like a tribe. So, and law is being enforced by people who is more powerful and more stronger, and they will set the rules. So, for example, for the Ukraine case, like I said earlier, Ukraine pursue a anti-Russia position, and they wanted to join NATO, which is against Russia's national interest. Ukraine may say that it is their foreign affairs and diplomacy right. It's their sovereign right to decide on their own foreign policies. That doesn't matter at all, because that's not what the Russia sees. The Russia sees that Ukraine is being absorbed by NATO and push the NATO border closer to Russia, creating a national security threat to Russia. And Russia says don't do it, and Ukraine insisted wanted to do it. They asked United States under Biden to reject this notion that Ukraine will be able to join NATO. But the Biden says that it is Ukraine's right to join. Then Russia will have no choice to enforce its own national security's concerns, and also to enforce the Minsk agreement they invaded. So because Minsk agreement is this agreement, this deal, who is going to enforce it? If someone breaks it, what breaks it, then how? If someone breaks it, you're not going to talk them into not breaking it. then the only way is through violence, which is war. Now we are seeing the same thing happening in Iran. They have been trying to convince Iran that no, going down the nuclear route is a bad idea. And from the Iranian perspective, is that it's their right to have nuclear weapons, and they really need nuclear weapons to secure themselves because their enemies are superpowers. It's the United States. It's probably France, maybe UK, and generally United States, and of course Israel. And the rumor has it is that Israel have nuclear weapons. So for Iran is that the only way to secure their own security is to have nuclear weapons so that they can have mutual destruction if war actually breaks out. And of course this is unacceptable because it's nuclear proliferation. So which is why now this is escalating beyond control. During the DPA open mic, someone also said that no, but North Korea also have nuclear weapons. Nothing happened to them. But there's a difference between North Korea and Iran. North Korea is not part of the global system. They are entirely out of the club. They are totally sanctioned. They are entirely out of the world. And it's only until recent years that Russia went in to help North Korea to save them from economic depression. So Russia is embedding and helping North Korea. China do not want North Korea to have nuclear weapons. And North Korea having nuclear weapons is not just targeting at United States. United States is actually not threatening North Korea at all, generally speaking, most of the time. And they are very unlikely to be in a war with South Korea, which North Korea knows it very clearly, because South Korea is too happy now. They are just enjoying this evil capitalistic circular life. So the nuclear weapon is to secure themselves against China as well. And they are surrounded by superpowers. So like United States, China, Russia, they're all superpowers. So so for North Korea's case, and they are not joining the international community, there's no one is going to secure them. So they develop the nuclear weapon. But that is of course not going to do a lot in the actual war. Nuclear weapons are overrated a lot of the time. It is to kill off civilians. So that's the nuclear weapon use. Most of the time it's just to wipe out huge amount of land, huge amount of grounds, mostly killing a lot of civilians. Maybe wipe out certain military bases, but war will still continue. Just like all these ballistic missiles, where before the Ukraine war we think so highly of. Yeah, if you look at Ukraine war never stopped because of ballistic missiles. So deep strikes doesn't change the war. War still being fought. So nuclear weapons is only a deterrence. It's not that effective. It's only effective to kill. So and anyway, whatever it is, Iran have picked a path. This escalation would of course be the best thing if Iran can able to get Russia maybe on board, to ask Russia to help to talk together as well, and to de-escalate. Maybe really give up the nuclear ambition, because that's really a no for the United States and Israel. But of course, who cares about what Israel think? But I care about what United States think, because United States have the means to go to war and inflict massive casualties or damage and destroy countries. Israel can't. So I let's see how this develop. But I'm just saying, I'm sharing all these things just to explain that things is really a bit precarious right now, and I think it's something to look out for. World War III stream is poised and ready. The World War III stream. We are locked and ready. If it happens, let's hope not. Let's hope not. I'll probably just do a separate stream. Let's not curse it. So anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next update.